we are. Hold on, I gotta get Yield Agenda out there.
Yeah, I don't remember the agenda. I'm just kidding. Are we really interviewing Tucker? I mean, you better have some interesting shit to talk about.
All one-word answers.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Bruce Willis in Fifth Element. Good.
Multipass.
Corbin.
Call him Matt. Call him my man.
He's like the smoothest, the chillest, the greenest. What do you have to say, Corbin? He's like green, super green.
Super green. Chris Tucker's best role?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday was pretty
It was
good.
just all downhill from there, even with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Rush Hour, the first one was good.
Rush Hour was great.
Yeah, the second one was okay.
What's the meme? What's the meme where it's like
Bye,
your
Felicia?
boss asks why you're late. You say rush hour. You show up late the next day, and he's like, "Okay, why are you late today?" He goes, "Rush hour 2."
This is what the show's going to be, folks.
I think you're fired before you get to Rush Hour 3.
The boss has to make. He has to see what happens the next day.
You have to.
Are you really going to say Rush Hour 3?
Oh, we have to share the live video first. That's what we have to do
You
before
gotta
we go
share,
live.
man. You got to share your shit. What episode is this, Kenny?
55.
All right, what am I doing here?
Just go to Kenny's thing and just share it. That's all you got to do, man.
I'm going to share Kenny's
Sharing-
thing.
sharing
I'm
is-
going to share Kenny's thing.
Sharing is caring.
It looks weird. It looks like I'm in my own little world, and you two are hanging out without me.
I'm going to prefer that.
Also, Matt, move the mic closer. You see how Tucker and I are actually like talking into the mic?
All right. I just don't like to
Cover up the bottom half of your goatee.
cover up my chin.
Did you ever use that one team name playing trivia, Kenny? The one that everyone thinks is funny?
My couch pulls out, but I don't.
No.
No.
This microphone.
Yeah. No, have not.
All right.
Ah, damn it.
Have you shared yet?
Yeah.
I forgot your gifts. That was part of the bit that was supposed to be out on the air. So that will happen. That will be a content only.
Oh, pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
You
All
gotta
right.
pay for it.
OnlyFans
All right, let's
/
go.
Samsel.
Here you go. Hey, Matt.
Kenny.
So ignore our guest for now. But you know that I haven't been able to hang any clothes in my closet lately.
Why would I know that, Kenny?
Well,
Is it
because
your cat hangs
I
out in there?
constantly complain about the number of stickers that have yet to be claimed by our listeners.
You got these stickers earlier in the year.
I know, and I still have yet to get rid of them. And you know why?
Just donate them to the homeless.
We should donate them to the homeless. What if we did a campaign where instead of giving money, we say, listen, what we'll do is we'll give you a sticker. And if we get new listeners, we'll re-find you again and give you money to say thank you for advertising it.
What if you gave a 2-move T-shirt out to a homeless person?
That's too expensive. I already spent all my money
You're
on...
supposed to just remember. You were supposed to find out who our winner was.
That's going to be next episode, as is taking live calls. But hey, did you know you can get a free sticker?
I've known since June or so.
Well, you haven't gotten one, and neither have a lot of you because I haven't emailed much lately. But 2moves.com/sticker, you're going to get yourself a free sticker. I'm probably going to send you like 10 at a time because I need to get rid of
give
them.
them to your friends.
Exactly. Give them to homeless people. Have them distribute it
We
on
need
your
these
behalf.
stickers spreading faster than the Omicron virus.
What?
Omicron?
Omarion from B2K.
Omicron COVID.
Bump, bump, bump. Enjoy the show.
This is what you signed up for.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I didn't sign my
there
waiver yet.
are 7 acknowledged wonders of the world. You are about to witness the 8th.
I might need another beer. I'm getting low.
Already on beer number 2, and we just got through the pre-show. That's not good. Well, hey guys,
Kenny.
episode 55.
Episode 55. Finally got another guest in here.
But not our first guest. We've had
No.
other guests before. We've had studio assistant Kim. We've had Paul Poems.
That was a good interview.
Paul S. Poems.com.
Paul Poems.
That's not those websites.
Very interesting story how he got into the poem business.
It was basically because he got rejected by a girl.
And he was in between jobs.
That's true.
This is the guy that showed up with the typewriter.
Yeah, who's downtown and
yeah.
he
He does poems for a living. Incredibly
I
talented.
don't think he two-finger types. I think he actually types.
Well, he probably started off that way so he can get used to the typewriter. Because if you make a mistake on a typewriter, you have to start all over.
Oh, you gotta do the whiteout. Get the
No,
whole thing.
because he sells these things, the poems, so you can't be using whiteout. That's unacceptable.
And
You're a
that is true.
professional.
Well, unless you only get half of them, you pay half rate for whiteout. You get someone else's poems for half the price.
He cuts out half of it and he just turns it into a haiku.
I like it. I like it. All right. Hey guys, I'm Kenny.
Kenny, Matt, out. Man, give me another.
You
one.
had half a beer.
No,
Half
this
a
is
beer
empty.
and you're
This is
already-
like empty.
Okay, one beer,
me another
Matt.
one, give me another one.
And yeah, you're listening to Two Moves, episode 55. We do have a guest. I'd like to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on the couch, Senior Tucker.
Tucker, very talented individual. We're gonna hear more about him later.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
I said good day.
It's hypothetical. If we had a guest
Yeah.
named Tucker, what could we convince him into doing at a very low cost? We have a whole list of would you do this for $10?
That is true. I've known Tucker for a while, and I know what he's capable of and not capable.
But
of
are
doing.
you? How much do you want $10? This is the real question.
$10? Ooh, the price has gone up. It was only $5.
Fiverr is so last
There's,
year.
there's twice the amount of things I would do for $10 that I would do for $5.
yeah, the combo deal.
All right. Well, you can always contact us on our Facebook page, twomoves.com is our website, show@twomoves.com. You can always email us. And we always have everyone chiming in on stuff. Matt dropped the ball again as our business department. We were supposed to have some Lay's vodka that came out.
There's Curly Fry vodka.
I know.
Arby's Curly Fried vodka. There's
Sold out.
Lay's
Sold out.
vodka.
Sold out.
I'm not on. I don't get like
our business
I don't get the
department is
live
on it.
feed on when vodkas are released.
Well, our listeners constantly
Again,
bug you about it.
if anybody finds that it's for sale, send me the link. I'll buy it.
Well, they're always sold out for it.
If someone can find it on the secondhand market, let me know. We'll buy it.
Well, Win Dixie John does chime in and says you do complain a lot. Like of everyone on the show, you complain the most of the three of us.
That's a low sample size. I
Someone-
complain once or twice.
By the
and
way,
that's
someone has
automatically-
their speaker on, and I can hear our show in the background.
It ain't me. It may have been me. It may have been me.
But yeah, you can always email us, text us, or post on our Facebook page at any time. We have not too much on our docket today. It's our Christmas week, so we're kind of all not doing so well in terms
We're not
of
taking
preparation.
this seriously.
Oh, not at all.
But less seriously than we normally would.
Which is not a lot.
No.
We're very little serious. But we hung out with Matt earlier. I hung out with Matt earlier this week, and then he actually calls me out of the blue, and I'm like, uh-oh, why is he calling me? Like, this is crazy. And Matt got struck by the food curse again.
Food curse. Tucker, you heard about the food curse, man? The drive-through.
Now, fill me in. Food curse.
So whenever I go to this is probably the last 6 months. If I go to drive-through anywhere, just pick any drive-through place, pick anything on the menu, they will undoubtedly say they don't have this or they don't have that
Or the machine's broken.
or the machine's
Say, do you
broken.
always want a McDonald's milkshake?
Close. It started off with Steak and Shake wanting milkshake. I went there back-to-back times,
Yeah.
different nights.
It's half of their name. But anyway, if Matt craves it specifically, they won't have it,
They
or
won't have it.
something will happen. And then on top of that, just because I think Matt is probably a rude drive-through customer,
I am completely not rude. I got it on video. This
all I'm
last one.
saying is that he deals with the most incompetent fast food people. I'm like more than normal. They mess up his order all the time.
all the time.
And I think it's how Matt carries himself.
No. I ask for nothing out of the ordinary. You know, like what we're gonna add cheese? Is that like so out of the ordinary? Add cheese to something or
I just think you
milkshake?
give
No
off an
cherry.
attitude
There's
of-
no way. There's no
you
way.
give off an attitude of a male Karen, and so of course they're gonna mess up your order.
But why would I give off the Karen attitude before they even
Oh, it's
take
just-
my
it's
order?
how you talk to
or
them.
like before I even get my order? I can't complain about anything.
Because I exactly know the reason. Every time you want to find out about something,
Mm-hmm.
you just be like, "Hey, I have a question," and you preface your question by saying, "I have a question." That immediately sets off an alarm of a fast food employee. Be like, "Oh boy, this guy."
I don't think that's Karen.
He's gonna do
A
that.
Karen is known for complaining, not asking
Yeah,
questions.
I have a question. How come? And
That's
then you
not-
a-
I don't- I don't know.
And then
No,
you
no, no.
ask some sort of very
The
condescending.
questions that I'm asking are like, hey, are you guys still doing the 2 for
No,
6
you don't.
deal?
You go. I have a question.
Yeah,
just
question.
Question. Yeah. Don't say. Just ask the question. Why do you have to preface it and say question? You're not Dwight Schrute,
I couldn't tell you, man. That's just how it comes out.
and that's why your food is
it's
messed
not a
up
Karen.
because
They don't. No one on the other end is thinking to themselves, "This guy just asked me a question. I'm going to screw up his order."
No, because it's not that you're asking a question. It's because you're prefacing it with, "Hey, I have a question for you." Be like, "Oh, he's already coming at me very aggressively. He's already going to be like very."
think that's
Does anyone ever say no if you say, "Hey, I have a question"? They're like, "No," and they just turn around and walk away.
just sorry.
They
come
might
back.
set themselves up for less disappointment. If they
That is
come
true.
back. Come back later.
Matt doesn't give
Sir,
them the
we're not.
opportunity to.
We're not
No
here
questions.
to answer questions. We're here to make your burger.
It's just a speech, no questions.
But Matt doesn't give them the opportunity to because he always
Like,
makes sure that they're
when
like confined.
I went to another
drive-through box.
I went to another burger place and
Yeah.
I asked them specifically, "Hey, do you guys have the s'mores milkshake still?" "No, sir, we don't." "Okay, that's it. I'll take this shake instead."
No, because
that's
it's like,
not-
"Do you have the s'mores milkshake?" And it's like, "No, we don't." Pause.
Just the exhale.
If there's a sigh, yeah.
The
And
exhale.
then immediately they're like, "Okay, this person's going to cause me problems."
Well, I suppose I'll speak to the manager.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, it struck again.
It struck
so-
again. I specifically was I don't know what I was doing that day, but I was like, I have a craving. I'm going to stop at Burger King for a specific thing. They have this new Italian chicken sandwich. I was like, you know what? I just feel like having a chicken sandwich. Okay.
Do you remember the Italian chicken sandwich growing up?
No,
It's
not
basically the regular. It's the
It's a-
oval. It's the oval-shaped chicken sandwich
Yeah.
at Burger King, but with mozzarella and marinara.
Okay.
There's nothing crazy to it. I go to a Burger King local to us, right downtown. I go through and I say, "Hey, are you guys still doing the 2 for 6 right now?" Because it's nowhere on their menu. The guy says yes. I then proceed to say, "I'll take one Italian chicken sandwich and one original chicken sandwich." Next thing I hear from the gentleman, "We don't have any chicken sandwiches.
So I will admit,
No chicken
It's
sandwiches."
partially on the dude when you ask, "Are you doing the 2 for 6 deal?" And
But
he
the
goes,
2 for 6 can
"Yes."
include other things.
Oh, okay.
It can
I
include
th-
like a Whopper.
If
I
it was
think.
just chicken sandwiches, that'd be pretty dickish of him to be like, "Yeah, we are out," but waiting for you to
we're
order.
still
so it's like-
doing it, but we don't have anything that is actually 2 for 6. But and nevertheless,
Yeah.
for some reason, this entire Burger King has no chicken sandwiches. And
very
but
weird.
here's the thing. As I was driving to this Burger King, I thought to myself, I'm going to record this because there is a high chance the curse is going to strike.
Mm-hmm.
I got the whole interaction recorded on video at the board, whatever it is. Is there a name for that? The
drive-through window.
drive-through? No, not the window.
the menu.
The menu
board.
At the
Okay, menu board, yeah.
The board. Got that on video. And just to make sure I didn't, there was no confusion, when I pulled forward, the gentleman came out and I just clarified, to be sure, you don't have any chicken sandwiches.
That's a little Karen.
and that's the
a little
attitude.
Karen.
but
Yeah.
but the only reason I did that was because I wanted to get it on video
Yeah,
too.
and then he sees that you're holding your camera, and he sees.
Oh, I
To
was-
be sure. He immediately is like,
to be sure,
I'm gonna spit in your food,
sir. The food that they don't have.
Yeah, he's gonna spit in whatever food you did order.
So I held it directly in his face.
I mean, the fact
And
that
I
you
said,
even
"Tell me
have
you don't have chicken. I dare you. I
Double
double
dare
dog
you."
dare you. You don't have chicken sandwiches? To be sure." Sir, I'm sure.
that. See, had you phrased it that way, it'd be like, "I double dog dare you." If I was a fast food employee, I'd be like, "You got me." You got
Has this curse happened
No, he
at
goes-
this
he-
location before?
He goes, "I'm going to have to go talk to my manager. I'll be all right back." And in the background, I can hear him say, "He double dog dare me. What do I do? What do I say? He double dog dare me. You sure we don't have any chicken in the back?"
At this
But
point,
no.
you just may be on a list where like your photo is in every drive-through of this person is going to complain.
That is true. To answer your question, this Burger King's been notorious for just being terrible. Like they're just
It's
they
bad.
mess
We
up
need
your
to call
order
them and
all the
we need to
time.
call the 800 number and
See,
Karen it
and
up.
that's a Karen. Because I'm like, what's he gonna do? Because I don't.
I
think-
would love to complain and then one day they're just shut down. Because I could say I did that.
Yeah, but okay. So here's the problem. Matt doesn't realize. I don't think he understands truly the concept of people just don't care about their job. I really think in Matt's
another
world.
one.
In Matt's world, he truly thinks that this person at Burger King cares enough about Matt's plight of whatever.
I just wanna- I
I
chicken
think some
sandwich he has
people that
in
work
their
at
path.
Burger King do care.
Who?
Some
The
of them.
manager,
One of
the
them.
district manager.
The one person that's making money
gonna
in
look
the
bad
entire
on
Burger King.
Wheels from the Kids Club. Remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
Burger King Kids
Was
Club?
there
Kids
no
Club.
blind kid
Yeah.
there? You don't know?
No, it was Wheels. He was in a wheelchair, and then there was a dude with like
Throw
the
it.
Kid and Play haircut.
Yep.
That's all I remember.
I
of those
thought
two.
that they were like a knockoff of the Captain Planet kids. Because it was drawn very
Yeah,
similar.
because
like,
there were
That's true.
several that were definitely
yeah,
knockoff
there was like
Captain
There
Planet.
was like a blonde girl and there was
There's
a redhead
the-
guy.
They combined the lettuce, the burger, the cheese, and the bun, and their powers combined.
So here it is. There was a dog with goggles. There was a nerd kid that you just wanted to shove in a locker.
he turns into the evil.
This was
the
rad
evil,
futuristic kid.
huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that guy in the upper right.
Geordie
He has-
just totally
LaForge headset
exploded
on.
Yeah, he has a backwards hat and he's got like a crazy like Oculus goggles from Facebook, which
No, but
wasn't
look,
even around back
that,
then.
So that team, the Burger King Kids Club kids, is so ahead of its time when it comes to like inclusivity and having a diverse group of kids.
When did that come out? When do you think the BK Kids
It had to
Club
have been
came out?
like 1994, 1995.
I think it's earlier.
Earlier.
Than that. I think it was in the 80s.
I think 90.
No, definitely not the 80s.
90.
So
But-
Tucker says 1990.
Because I mean, literally, it's every type of like, it's male and female in there. You got like multiple races of kids.
Yep.
You got the handicap kid. You got the outcast, brainiac, nerdy kid.
You got the kid from the future.
The kid from the future.
So here's the
You got
thing.
you have a fucking dog in there.
The Burger-
I mean, the dog.
That
What
is
dog
true.
doesn't like Burger King?
The Burger King Kids Club was a multi-ethnic group of cartoon kids
go.
that appeared from 1989 to 1999. So that was a solid 10
10 years.
a
You know what?
10-year
They had to
run.
do a Where Are They Now? And see where the future kid is now even further in the future.
Jokes on him. He actually he's stuck using cassettes and he's like regressing in
You
technology.
could have told us about
Brainiac
COVID.
Kid definitely is a manager of a Burger King.
He's gonna
That's where he made
he
it
has
to.
a hoop and stick is his favorite toy. Okay, let's talk about the hoop and stick for a second. Now, hold on. in
hoop
the
and stick?
early 1900s, everyone makes fun of it's the hoop and stick. Were kids really think that was fun? Did they really?
That's
think,
where you have a stick and you're
And
pushing,
you're pushing the hoop.
It's like a hula hoop,
and then you chase after it,
and you
with
keep
the
running
stick.
alongside of it, and you just
Keep
But
it
like
spinning.
that was legit a toy,
Think about
right?
this.
Kids knew that sucked
if you
even
were
back then.
if you or any of us tried that right now,
Yeah.
we might get it, 10 yards, 15 yards. It's
Okay.
probably going to fall over, right? It's probably going to veer off to the left or right. But think about this: in the 1800s, there are probably those kids that are like the savants of the time who could probably get that thing going around.
Is there a Guinness World Record for hoop and stick distance?
that's probably a good
Like,
question.
you know how there are kids that are just like,
Technically, a marathon runner could do that.
you know how there are kids that are just insanely good at video games now,
Yeah.
pros. There were probably like the 1800 kids that were like incredibly good at the hoop and stick that could break ankles going around you with the hoop and stick.
But here's the thing, though. Again, I bring back the question. Kids back then knew that was a terrible toy,
No,
right?
they didn't. No, that was
They had nothing to compare it to
Yeah,
other than like
yeah.
sitting in the dark
What the-
because there's
yeah,
no
the-
I
electricity.
think
you know what?
sitting in the dark is better than chasing a hoop.
Well, that's
with a
because you're an adult
stick.
now, but as a kid,
you
you
compare
hated
it.
to
You
sit in the
compare
dark.
it to what? A doll?
Yeah, you can at least have it. You use your imagination with the doll with the stick and hoop. It
Is
goes.
that what you do with the doll, Kenny?
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
Where did that come from?
We know.
Anyway, we are joined here by our buddy Tucker. I've known Tucker for over 10 years now.
I do have a quick story since we're on the topic of fast food before we move on.
Okay, yeah, let's do
I
that.
did go the other morning to Chick-fil-A for breakfast.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Good call.
And no matter where you go, Chick-fil-A, the drive-through is insane. In fact, now it's the only, I want to say it's like the only fast food place that typically has 2 lanes and
Yeah.
people standing outside taking orders, right?
But I will say it's one of the most efficient
the best.
drive-throughs,
By far
even
the
though
best.
it's
Absolutely.
super long.
Absolutely. So I decided to go inside because there's literally nobody waiting inside. It's like going inside is just a thing of the past now.
Okay.
Go inside. The manager in there, mind you, this is a Chick-fil-A I have not been to in probably 6 months. I was out of the way in this area. The manager's like, "Hey, good to see you again." He's like, and like I truly just thought maybe he was being nice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, good to see you again. He
Thinking-
was manning the
yeah.
register, just whatever. Maybe he says this to everybody. I go, hey, I'm doing good. How about yourself? He's like, doing great. He's like, since the last time I saw you, I got married. And he's like, showing me his ring. And I'm like, this is just so weird. He's just telling me, he's literally telling me he's going into his life story for the past 6 months.
All right, what if this was his first day back since getting married?
And I was like the last, you've
No,
been on
no,
like
no,
a
no.
6
What I'm
month
saying
honeymoon.
is, technically, he's correct. Every single person that comes there goes, "Oh, since I last saw you, I've gotten married," because he literally has not
but
done anything.
I could have
since
been
then.
there a week ago.
He wasn't. I'm saying, you pay attention, buddy.
Okay, I get
this
what
is
you're
his
saying.
first
Yeah, I see
day
what you're
back working.
What if he had never been there before? And he
See,
said, since the last time I saw you, it throws it
that's
off.
the trick, because the fact that you responded, "How are you?" means I agree with your assertion that I've seen you.
But, I mean, what am I going to say?
Have you
I
seen him
don't-
before? Do you remember him?
I do, because he's socially awkward. But he's like, I don't know how to say this without saying it. He's a totally normal guy, but he's like incredibly socially awkward. There was probably a good 45-second exchange of pleasantries before I got to give him my order.
That is a lot.
It's
That is
45
definitely a lot.
seconds is a long time.
And
he's
yet
like,
you still got your food in a minute.
He actually had his food before he ordered
yeah,
it. They're that
they
efficient.
they could tell. They're like, oh, it's they knew my app, and they know like he's in the zone. He's ordering the same shit every time. But anyway, that's the Chick-fil-A on Colonial. I suggest you go in and see if you get the same reaction.
I mean,
and
he-
then ask to speak with his manager.
He probably is a manager. That's the trick.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He is. But again,
His
like,
manager
when have you
is
ever
God.
gone into any type of like establishment, some casual establishment, and they start telling you what they've done over the past 6 months, like you guys are buddies?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of just awkward.
The guy was
there's-
nice.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of nervous people to where the
Yeah.
way they get over their nerves is by talking, and they just like chit chat about nothing just because it breaks the silence, because they don't know how to just transition into
but
the
at
topic at hand.
running a cash register, there's no awkward silence because you're doing the job just inherently.
he maybe-
there's a formula.
Maybe
I
he
come,
doesn't
you
know-
greet me, I say what I want, you confirm it, exchange the currency, boom, the formula has been completed.
But maybe he just.
But you
doesn't-
should say thank you just to make them say my pleasure.
That's
and then
right.
You should say it again to see if they say it again and see how far you can
What
go.
if you broke like the whole chain and you said your pleasure, and then they're like,
Yes.
like everyone just like turns around like time just stopped.
And then the Chick-fil-A melts down, and now no one has Chick-fil-A.
Now all of a
and
sudden
it's
you
all
come
because
back
of
the
you.
next day and they're serving burgers.
I just imagine the Chick-fil-A going into like a void like the end of Poltergeist.
But anyway, you were going to move
gonna
along. You were going to introduce our,
I was
our
going to
guest.
introduce our guest. He's here. We've known him for quite a while. I've known him for a bit longer, sadly. But no, we actually have our guest here, Tucker. We'd like to. I mean, he's been chatting on the show the whole day, so we can't really like, do a whole welcome kind of thing. But yeah, we wanted to get to know him. He's one of our faithful listeners. I don't really know that. He apparently didn't know the song from last week when I was playing it to test audio.
The last
Do you-
time I
do you
watched was
know-
actually with Paul's
Let
Bones.
me say this.
Hey.
Do you know the formula for the show? Do you know like the segments that we do?
You talk about what's in the news.
There you go.
And
Hey.
Kenny always has some stupid song that he's covered, and he sings all the parts
Also
of all the songs.
true. Also true.
And then there's a segment where Matt gripes about things. Oh, I think that's the whole
every
show.
That is the whole show.
That even if we didn't have a show, I'd be doing that.
Anyway, so Tucker, I've known Tucker for quite a while. We worked in the AV and live production industry right now. He currently works for the Tampa Bay Lightning and Fox Sports, doing all that.
If someone were to
fancy stuff.
ask me, what does Tucker do?
Yeah,
It would be a simple. He's the guy, cameraman on
Cameraman,
like
yeah.
the third base line or first base line, whatever, at a baseball game or other sporting events.
He does that. He's worked. I know he's worked with the WWE. He's worked with the Tampa
Yes,
Bay Rays,
I
the
do
Orlando
remember that
Magic. So kind of just wanted to pick his brain a little bit. So we were talking about it before, and you were telling a little bit of the story. What was the most recent gig that you worked here in Orlando?
Which is totally different from anything that I've done in a long time. But the last event I worked here in Orlando was actually the sit-down interview with Bill O'Reilly and former President Donald Trump over at the Amway Center.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing that.
So Tucker
remember
is
that was- that
very
was intense.
anti-vaccine. So you're just like, I want to work this event. His accent changes when he.
Reverted to full Tennessee
When
just for this event.
when Tucker shows up to any event, he immediately wants to cough. He does, instead of shaking hands or saying hello, he coughs in their face. They cough in his face. You exchange the COVID. You move on about your day.
Next gig.
Next, it's just it's just like duck duck. You're sitting in a circle like duck duck goose. You just turn, cough, and it goes all the way around until it comes back to you.
Turning and coughing makes me feel.
And that's how we come up with the next variant.
Do you remember? Did you ever play the game in high school, Suck and Blow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least know about it from the like movie Clueless or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think how many diseases spread during that?
There's something that was brought up on like a meme or something before COVID. You could be at a bowling alley eating chicken wings,
Yes. Licking
fingers, stick your fingers in the hole, go back to the chicken wings, licking fingers.
Yeah.
No one
And that
was
was
the
totally
wiser.
cool.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, it's weird when you ask that to Tucker because Tucker, believe it or not, has his own bowling ball.
That's true. So I don't mind sticking my fingers in my own bowling ball.
I kid you not, he has his own ball.
And
He has his own
in fact,
bag.
you pour
And no friends.
You pour the buffalo sauce in there, stick your fingers in.
Ranches
bowl.
in one hole, buffalo in another. And, yeah.
Just
Two cheeks.
two fingers, just sucking on each finger.
Yeah, he gets that. But yeah, no, he's here. He's fortunate enough to be able to join us. But he's been randomly working gigs all around the country. How long have you been doing like camera work and production work?
So I started doing camera work in 06. I started in reality TV shortly after graduating.
Okay.
And that was terrible. And,
Really?
Hold on,
Yeah,
what-
it was the worst.
Why is reality TV camera gigs?
Maybe it was because like the people I worked with, which was
Okay, but it's not the
Wait, the production company people you worked with,
Yes.
or like the people on camera?
yes,
the what are they called? The not the
talent.
the talent. No, okay. So have you ever been recording something? I don't want to say recording, but filming something, and you have the little thing in your ear, and they say turn away. Don't show that. Don't zoom out. Zoom out.
Yes.
You get something in the ear. What types of things cause you to get that message?
A lot of times it'll be, especially if you're doing something that is recorded and they know they can have another take. If they stumble on their words or if they feel like they're being awkward, they'll be like, no, don't do that. Let's pan away or whatever. Or if like you awkwardly go into someone's bedroom and they left something out that maybe shouldn't have been out, maybe zoom away from that.
Okay, but it's not
but like
live,
not
so
like
you
a
can always
sport,
edit it
but not
out.
like a sporting event where they're like, don't if someone's going onto the field, right? My understanding is typically
They don't show that.
they don't like showing
because they
that
don't want to promote
because
it.
it promotes-
Correct. If there was a streaker or something like that, it's supposed to be a wide shot pan away from the field because you don't want
But
copycats.
But can't you just zoom in on the streaker and then whoever's in the studio could be like, we're just not going to go to you're not going to go to Tucker's camera right now.
In years past, yes. Now, because of all the enhanced replay, every camera is always going to New York or Secaucus or wherever. So even if you're not live to what the TV audience is seeing, someone at a broadcast studio is seeing what you're shooting.
It's always going to be good video later. So wouldn't you just like want to record that and just post it later?
There are 1,000 people in the stands with their cell phones that are
That is
recording
true.
it.
Unless you're at-
Terribly, usually with vertical video.
Have you guys ever like had the urge to streak or run out into the field?
That's what I want to do the last day that I ever work in the business.
I'm surprised.
Have you ever stormed a field like after like a big win or a celebration?
No, I don't.
We
I don't think I
weren't
have.
allowed to at Miami.
Really?
Like, they had the mounted police officers all over the field, and it was kind of a known if you storm the field, we're going to expel you from school.
Expel.
Oh yeah, it was all
Yowza.
all
Yeah, in
over.
the
They
SEC,
were super serious
storming
about
the
it.
field in the SEC is not allowed. Like I know that University of Florida, they will like towards the end of every game, they'll bring the sheriff's department. Like every 10 yards, there's a sheriff's officer. Sometimes with dogs. You do not go on the field.
So when UCF opened up the on-campus stadium, they've had a lot more security. But back at the Citrus Bowl, it was the Wild West. Like anyone could storm the field at any time. And I remember UCF, they broke their 15-game losing streak. And the first game they won, we all stormed the field. We tore down the goalposts. Like it was amazing.
Carry the goalpost back to campus.
Yeah.
I thought I remembered like hearing it like going down
from
Colonial
all the way downtown. They carried it from downtown
That's
Orlando.
right. That's insane.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that's football, obviously. Have you ever stormed a basketball court? Because that's a heck of a lot easier to storm, typically.
Ooh, I don't think. Have you? I don't think.
Like,
I've-
typically, like,
I
after
don't
a
ever
buzzer
recall
beater
seeing. I don't
or-
ever recall seeing. I know it happens, but I can't
It happens
think of,
all the time.
I don't recall seeing storming basketball courts.
I think that's more of like the Cinderella story of
Yeah, that seems more dangerous.
Upset, some of those are insane.
No, you know what? Because I think when Rutgers beat Purdue in college basketball, that just recently happened. But so here's the thing: why is storming the field not happen in any professional sport?
That's
I
actually
think it's just
because
increased security, probably.
yeah, it's probably because
But
they
I mean,
have the money to do increased security. But
I mean, like, I don't notice any more increased security at like a pro baseball game or a
I
pro
do.
football
Well,
game.
especially football.
Actually, I don't. Does storming the field happen in baseball games?
Wasn't the last time like when Hank Aaron broke the home
That's
run
right.
record and the two guys ran onto the field?
That's
Okay,
And it's like
yeah,
one of the
you know
most
what? Yeah,
iconic
yeah,
shots
yeah.
in all
So
of,
like
all of
I'm
baseball.
showing a
This is amazing.
montage of people storming the court. I think because it's one of those where I think because basketball it is more of a finite area than a football field. It's a bit more of a controlled celebration.
But again, I don't think I've ever seen baseball where
There was
anyone
disco
stormed the field.
demolition night where
was
they
insane.
invited
Why-
people on the field.
Baseball.
But again, like
Is there
you're
something-
not getting who's getting that excited at a baseball game, just in general. And I love
But
baseball.
like, let's just even at a World Series or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm thinking World Series walk-off home run to win the game.
World Series, college World Series. Even like if a number one team goes down, I don't think that the students are storming the field.
I think the
It just
game
doesn't-
is
that-
just more subdued to where you're
Yeah.
not getting that excited.
It's very low energy.
Yeah, so
that's
this is back in like the 70s. But yeah, that
Oh,
that was
okay. Yeah, you're
so
showing,
they, but
like
again,
that
this
does
was
not happen.
so long ago.
You're showing an old video of
Yeah,
Major
all
League
these
Baseball.
videos are like old-timey. Yeah, that just does not happen anymore. Although that looks like it's from like the early
No
2000s.
one ever storms the field in hockey matches.
They
that's
got
'cause
the boards. If you can climb the boards and get onto the ice, I think you deserve to be out there.
you that's like the moat, and then once
is
you
true.
get over the moat, the glass, you then have no ice skates and you're just on the ice falling. Can you imagine if they just did
Yep,
away?
yep, yep, yep.
If at the end of the game, the glass on a hockey rink just kind of collapsed down, and then people could storm the rink.
They all bust their ass before they
Everyone
get anywhere near the
everyone
players.
just sleeping.
It'd be
Sorry,
great.
that just reminded me of this YouTube video
no.
of a youth hockey league, and I'm like, you're youth hockey, but every kid slips on.
Well,
the
but
ice.
the thing is everyone's like falling down several feet onto the ice.
Yeah, but even when they do get on the ice, it's like,
Does-
oh,
This
Yeah,
is
it's-
every time I've been to RDV and done the skate there.
Is there any storming the court on a tennis match?
no, the people are lame. Although I will say it depends sometimes. Back during like the early Tiger days, people would run onto the golf course, like after Tiger Woods wins or whatever, because all you're getting is just a bunch of old people holding ropes,
Right,
And you
that-
just like
that's
show.
weird.
Oh, that's like
you
the least,
are the closest,
That's
yeah.
that's the situation you're on your honor system.
Yeah. Well,
You're on the honor system. You do not go under or over that rope.
Well, or the
The
giant,
guy that's holding like the paddle.
the paddle that
Yeah.
says quiet,
Quiet.
please.
How about Olympics? A team wins the gold for volleyball, and everyone just storms onto
The problem is the
onto
crowds
sand.
at the Olympics are from all around the world, so you don't have as many people invested in that one team that does that. What would you say, Tucker, is the weirdest sport or the weirdest thing that you've ever covered?
the weirdest thing I've ever covered.
Or let me say this: there's two of them. Either the weirdest one or the one where you're just like, "Why am I here? Like, why are paying
people
me?"
watching
Yeah,
this?
who-
Donald
like-
Trump being interviewed by Bill O'Reilly last week
Really?
at the Amway Center. But like I was saying a little bit earlier, there were 10,000 plus people there, and they were just talking, and I was like, this is something you could sit on your couch, and that's why we were there, so the people that were sitting on their couch could.
Was it
see
like
this
live
interview.
streamed? I guess on. Okay, there
Yeah,
you go.
either on their probably both of their websites, but then to be archived and used later for
Well,
some
and I
DVD
know
or
you've
whatever.
done like random sports, and I'm not picking on like them specifically, but like USF softball, for example.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, you got to think about, yes, there are people that are watching it, but like how many? How many does that warrant you broadcasting it and paying you your day rate and your setup and all that?
Those have got to be the ones that lose money
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Your bigger basketball games.
Yeah.
Your soccer. USF soccer has a really big following because they have a lot of international players.
And I get that. And, you're dealing with good teams are obviously going to get draw, but like sometimes you do like, and I'm not picking on them specifically, but like Stetson, lacrosse. But for some reason, it's being broadcast on ESPN3.
Right. And all of those now are like, especially with the American Conference, it's part of their contracts of, hey, if
Yeah,
you
so they
want to
kinda
have
have to do it.
access to broadcasting the women's game versus UConn when UConn was in the American. Well, guess what? You also have to broadcast our 6 other, American home games against these other
I guess
teams.
that makes sense.
Okay, I got a
It's like the cable TV package. You're not getting a la carte to get this channel.
yeah. To get
you also have to
ESPN,
get these other ones.
You have to have C-SPAN.
We've all seen like the football game where there's like a nice fake handoff or something, or a pump fake, and the cameraman misses
it
where the
fakes-
ball's.
yeah.
How much of a like grilling do you get after a game for like missing where the ball's at? Is someone going to talk to you after and be like, "Listen, Tucker, in the second quarter when they did that halfback pass, you missed it. That's bad."
I think that was worse before I got into the business. Most of the directors and producers that I've worked with and hear about working with are a little bit more calm now of just saying, okay, it's just TV. But you have heard horror stories of, especially I've heard in golf, and golf has to be the hardest thing possible to shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot a golf ball
Tiniest
going
ball.
through blue sky, white cloud, gray cloud,
Yeah.
green tree.
Yeah, following
I've heard of people missing a shot on like par 3 and you miss your
ball
opening
going
shot,
up
and
that's it.
2 minutes later somebody tapping you on the shoulder and you've been removed from the show. And they will
Wow.
have other camera people in there.
Kicked
Golf
out
is
mid-show.
very, very serious, but like
Oh my God.
I feel like all else fails, just zoom out. Just zoom out.
and it's true.
You could just see it. You could
you
see
would rather
anything.
be wide and have it than too tight and miss something 90% of the time.
But every once in a while, you'll see a YouTube clip where it's like the cameraman follows the ball in football perfectly and gets the perfect angle to see if it crossed the goal line. And you're like, that's genius. That person was like zoomed in tight to see every
they knew it was
microscopic.
coming.
Exactly. And then like you appreciate that.
I
you know
still
what
don't
I mean?
know why they don't put something in the football
I agree.
that
100%.
gonna happen.
that can. It's
They-
like infrared
they've
or
done it in soccer.
RFID that
They've-
can just go across.
They've done it in soccer when the ball like grazes the goal line to see if any part of the ball did that. So I don't know why they can't do it in football.
Yeah, you put one sensor at each end
Yep.
of the football,
I agree.
and then sensors down the sidelines and down the.
I also
goal
don't know
line.
why isn't there always a camera at the goal line? Doesn't matter if the play's there or the play's 90 yards away. You should have always a camera at the goal line just in case John Elway hurls it 90 yards for the catch.
And now that's why they have those pylon cams.
Yeah, but even then
Um,
they're always obstructed by
So-
every
Right.
player.
Sorry to interject, but Kenny, I never noticed this. I don't think. I think this is new, but we have closed captions
Seriously.
on our live feed. At least it's showing up on mine, and it's like accurate. It's
frightening.
I was just looking at it to what you were saying. It's freaking accurate.
Zuckerberg's listening.
You know what? Someone's paying.
Zuck is
Someone's paying to transcribe our
Well,
show.
we're not getting any of that money, but so Tucker, you're obviously doing it. The money's got to be worth it, right?
Well, first
for
off,
what
how
I'm
do you
doing,
like
sure.
with the broad spectrum of like different sports and different events? How are this just like some message board that you're a part of, and then you're just like you sign up to do some event? How are you getting across NFL, MLB, NBA, all that?
I mean, each sport and each network generally has their own crewers, and it's for the most part you are requested by a director or a producer to be on a show. And they tell their middle person, "Hey, we have this game.
I got
We
a
want
guy."
Tucker to be on it," and then they call you and say, "Hey, we want you to do this game."
Are you part of
Or-
a union?
No, not in Florida.
No, but there are other like in LA and New York.
What is the top of the line? Like if you're at the top of your game, what is the ideal show or sport to be involved in?
I mean, the best shows they say to be on are the top level golf shows.
Golf shows.
Really?
Because you're getting 4 days of work a week plus a travel day plus a travel day.
Okay,
They,
yeah, that makes sense.
They pay really well, but I mean, it's all of the when you think about, hey, this is the game I'm going to tune into, even if I don't necessarily like the sport. The guys that do Monday Night Football, those are the best guys that do football.
Yeah.
The guys that do the Saturday afternoon SEC games, those are the best guys doing college football.
From the Monday Night Football crew, they're the same crew, and all they work is Monday nights.
Well, for that show. Now, the other 5 nights of the week that they're not either traveling or working, they can freelance for the most part and
Okay.
do other things. Sometimes some of the camera spots are staff spots. ESPN has some guys that you exclusively work for ESPN, but they may tell you, hey, this week you're going to do this hockey game, then you're going to go here, then you're going to go here because you're an employee. They're telling you where
Right,
to go.
right.
Whereas a freelancer, you can
Is
say
there
yes or
a
no.
sport that just pays top dollar, and is there a sport or event that's just like, you guys suck? I hate taking those jobs, but you know what? I have nothing else going on. I'll do it.
All of the main ones that I do for like Rays Lightning Magic that are all on Bally Sports, they all pay the same. So like whether I go do, a baseball game where I may not have to set up or strike a camera, I'll get paid exactly the same as if I'd gone to Magic or Lightning and had to build the camera, sit there for a few hours, do the game, strike the camera, load up the truck. They all have one rate across the board for that company, but then each company has different pay rates.
Okay.
They're all in the same range just to be competitive.
Yeah.
Because if you're way lower, no one's going to agree to work for you.
So, is there ever an opportunity where they're like, Tucker, we want to bring you on board with our news crew. You're no longer doing sports. We just want you behind the camera in the news studio. That's all we want. Is that an upgrade or is that like a downgrade?
News is considered lower.
Yeah.
Lower
I mean,
end.
you typically
Lower end pay
start-
spectrum.
If like one of the
typically
major
start out.
networks, like let's just say Fox or CNN or MSNBC, was like, we want you to come up to New York. We like your style. We like your your camera work.
See, I'll answer that because I've
Is
worked,
that-
I've
is
worked
that-
in a
is
news
that
studio
an
before.
upgrade?
Typically, it's not, only because it's easy to do that because the person's stationary, they're sitting in the studio, or they're up in front of the board. You don't have to do much.
Right.
Whereas in a sporting event, you're always having to constantly follow
Okay.
the action and go here or there.
So like I would consider if you were to go to like one of the nightly, news on one of the major networks, I would say that's. I don't know. It would seem like it'd be more professional.
Yeah, but
I would say those
than
people are
sport.
paid probably,
They're probably
really well.
They're probably paid very well, but in the industry, it's like, okay, you show up and you work maybe 4 or 5 hours at most because
Yeah.
your show's only on for 30 minutes or an
Right.
hour.
So you don't just hang around and go. Like if you have the whole lineup for like like CNN or MSNBC or Fox or something, you don't stay there the whole time.
No,
Like
because there's different studios that you
Different
probably have
studios.
to pop into and stuff like
I
that.
gotcha.
And let me say this, the competition's probably so high that while it might pay well, it's probably not even close to a market rate because they just know anyone wants to do it,
if you were a cameraman for the Super Bowl,
which he has been.
Which I did do.
do you get a ring?
It all depends.
Wait, what?
It all depends on
you have to declare which team you're
what
on.
your-
and
yes, and
then
and
you
I
know-
declare with 3 seconds to go in the game when one team is up by.
and then you
up
get
by
a,
30.
you're like I chose I chose the Patriots or I chose the Bucks.
Yep.
And then like
And then his coworker's
then
like, no
they win.
takebacks.
like they.
It's like a sign-in sheet.
A lot of times the players obviously get their ring. So like nice question that I am wearing my Lightning Stanley
Right,
Cup
that's-
championship
right,
ring
that's
right
what
now.
made me think.
Um,
They really do give those rings out to everybody.
This was not given. The option to get one is given to the people that are working. And so they're like, if you would like to get a ring, we will make one available to you at a cost.
Oh, so you don't get the free one, but you can get one.
You can get one, whereas, a schmo off the street isn't going to be able to go get one, but you have to have some kind of involvement with the team or with the broadcast
If
or
you
whatever.
show up on the last day of the season for like the Tampa Bay Lightning and then they win, do you still get that opportunity? Or do you have to be like, man, you weren't here through the thick and thin?
I mean, technically, we've seen people like they get signed just for the playoffs, and they end
And
up
they
getting
get a ring?
Sure.
and they don't play a minute. They don't
Is
play
it
1 minute.
Okay, so then my next question. If say you're not really a fan, you're just there you're there for the work, the job, and you get the opportunity to buy a ring. Is it worth? Could you flip it and make money, or is it like no, it's really not worth that much?
I'm sure you could. I mean,
But it's probably one of those. If they find out that you do that,
Really?
you'll get fired.
Oh shit! I mean, are there
When-
serial
when-
numbers on these things?
When Tucker's
If
eBay
they
screen
gave
name,
it to you, you might get in trouble for it.
But
But
if
if,
you bought
players
it-
all the time are like, they lose all their money, and you end up seeing,
Yeah, that's true.
these sad stories of these
But it
guys
also
that have to
doesn't help-
sell their
but they're
championship
also not. They
rings.
know they're not coming back anyway.
yeah, and it also doesn't help that Tucker's eBay name is Tucker McFall 69.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
I had the
let's-
same
let's-
screen
we
name
gotta-
since
we
I was
gotta move
14.
on.
But last question before they do that, we talked about like the coolest gigs, the fun gigs. What's the gig that you want because it's the easiest amount of work for highest amount of pay? Like, what's the one where it's just like, listen, it may not pay the best, but I literally sit there and I hit one button and I do nothing.
And any kind of corporate work, when you are just following somebody that's at a podium, there's a lot of money in those like medical conferences
Oh,
where
yeah, that's
somebody
true.
stands up there and I like chime in because I hear the word aspirin and it's the first word I've understood in the last 3 hours. But though those conferences typically pay
They
very
just have
well,
a laser
and you,
pointer pointing at like a dead body, and
Yep.
then they just stand there, and that's all
you're
you got.
either the wide camera or the a little bit less wide
Nice.
camera.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But that's cool. If you have any questions at all about Tucker, I know he's not going to be on every show, but feel free to email us show at 2moves.com. 347-MY-MOVES is our texting code. We actually have our buddy Jason chiming in from Mexico. So we technically have an international listener going
That's
on
gonna make our numbers go up.
by one. By un.
Uno.
By uno. Anyway, so one of the things that we've been holding off for actually a couple of weeks that I wanted to talk about, we grew up in the 90s. We're all about the same age. And you guys remember the Mentos commercial, right?
Yeah.
Toast better.
Yeah, okay. So I was coming up with a crappy song to go, and I was like, oh, let me see if I can do the Mentos song, and it'd just be like LOL kind of thing. So I was looking it up. You can't find an instrumental version of the Mentos song, but I found out the history of the Mentos song. That song wasn't created for Mentos.
Was it created for
Mentos
another?
ripped off that song that was already created in Europe. So I found it's literally called Fresh Goes Better. And this is the actual song.
This is the original.
This is the original Mentos song.
This just sounds like the start to like
Any
TV
sitcom.
show, a
Any
sitcom,
sitcom
yeah.
in the 90s.
I'm waiting for the
The lyrics?
Cameron.
that we all recognize.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. Take it easy, you are full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool.
It's like it was
Take
written
it easy,
I
you
know.
are full
for
of
a
life.
Is this John Tesh?
Just 'cause a day is a day, it doesn't mean it's okay. There's always trouble in your
Look at that sweet
life.
sax in the
Heavy
background.
clouds in the sky,
This is like a
tears are
full-on
filling
song,
your
too.
eyes.
We're not going to hear the whole thing,
It's
but
easy
here's the
when you're
chorus.
full of life. Fresh goes better. Fresh goes
Dude,
better.
okay.
It's easy when you're full of life.
So it's almost like whoever wrote this,
Yeah,
like left the blank spot
I know.
for
I know.
whatever. That could be Tic Tac in there.
So it was
You could fit the word Tic Tac in there, and they
Easily.
could have bought it, and it's run with it.
easily. So it's like they literally didn't change a thing, and I was like, that blew my mind when I heard that it was
They
an original
threw in
song.
the word Mentos, and
I know.
that's it.
So then that got me on a binge of remember the Mentos commercials. It was always, and the premise was always the same. Something inconvenient happens to someone, and then they pop a Mentos, and that gives them a bright idea. And I was like, oh, okay, those
It's
are
like
always
brain
funny.
food.
So, so it was one of those like, okay, this one that I'll play the first one. I won't play. I'll play the audio of it. But so it's a guy in a suit, and he sits on a bench with fresh paint.
Oh,
it's like,
no.
oh no, and he's like, oh, what am I gonna do?
Your suit's ruined.
So he goes, wait a minute, I'm gonna pop a Mentos.
Mm-hmm.
I got an idea. So he ends up rolling all around the bench. Next thing you know, pinstripe suit.
But it doesn't even look like a good pinstripe suit. That looks
No, it doesn't.
awful.
Terrible.
But okay, so it was funny that they
That's-
did that,
that's
right?
terrible.
And I was like, okay,
No, that painter there is like, thank God,
I
this
think
guy's
that- I think
an
that-
idiot
I think
because
that
he's
painter was
happy.
upset because now he's gonna have to repaint that
That
bench.
is true. And there was another one, like a lady breaks a heel, and she's so mad, then she pops a Mentos and goes, "Oh, I'll just break the other heel. Now I have flats." Okay, so I'm like, that's all.
more
That's just
reasonable.
resourceful.
That's all well and good, right? And then I started watching more of them, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are almost criminal acts that are being promoted on Mentos. And I'll show you the next one.
Well,
So
I haven't seen anything criminal yet.
oh, you'll see. So okay, first one. This is just seedy, all right. So this is a wedding,
Okay.
and this guy.
Guy trying to get into the wedding.
And it's like, oh no, my girl's getting married, so let me pop a Mentos, grab flowers, and straight up hit on the bride in front of the groom.
But why did he want to do that? Let's look at the.
Oh, he needed to get his soccer ball
Because
back.
he needed to get his soccer ball.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
kicked a
kicked
soccer ball
into a wedding.
into the
into
wedding.
a wedding.
Let's pause this. Kicked a soccer ball into the wedding. They wouldn't let him in. He popped a Mentos. He picked up some flowers and acted like he belonged there.
Yeah.
Gave
then
the flowers to the
and then
to the
hits
bride.
on the bride and kisses her in front of the
He,
groom.
freaking grabs her boobs and everything,
Yeah.
and then slaps her ass and
All right,
runs off.
So that one I'm like, okay, not illegal, but like that's kind of
kinda creepy.
And then here's the next one. All right, so this one, it's a red carpet event. This guy straight up goes over the velvet rope, high fives his buddy to try to sneak into the event. And he's like, can't go there. Security guard is like, whatever, you can't go in. Celebrity comes in, so he goes, I have an idea. Let me lie my way into this. So he pulls out
a camera.
a disposable camera and pretends he's press in front of the guy, and the guy's like, oh, this
you
guy,
got me.
This guy got me. What if he's a crazy stalker and he ends up stabbing her?
I think that happened.
Because, like, Mentos is like, oh, that's cool. Break the law and trespass.
I mean, this guy just trying to get into the event. I mean, he's got no ticket. He's got no seat. He just happened to have a camera on him.
That
I don't
commercial
believe
is actually why I got into doing camera work.
So then here's another one that I did. This guy is a jerk. They're trying to cross the street, and this guy ends up blocking the crosswalk, which is illegal.
When you say this guy's blocking, you're saying a car is blocking.
Sorry, a car blocks the crosswalk, which
so
is
that
illegal.
he can't cross.
Yeah.
Safely.
So his buddies are like, oh, ha, 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 you're an idiot.
His buddies are on the other side of the street. They already made it.
So this guy was like, hold on one second. I'm going to pop a Mentos, right? I have an idea. Let me just enter the person's car.
Oh, car phone. Solid.
And he enters the person's car, and then he looks at him like, fuck you. And then, like, exits
Gets
the other
out
side.
the other side. Shows him he had
eating a Mentos.
the balls to
And
do
then
because
look
he's
at
got a
him.
Mentos.
He's straight up going to murder him.
The other guy, yeah,
Was that
the
guy
driver,
also in American Gladiators?
the driver is on the phone.
He's
and
happy
like,
about it. He's smiling now. You got me.
Okay, so we've all acted like jerk drivers before. What if in the midst of us being a jerk driver, a guy gets into our back seat and then just like
Scooches
"What
over
you
to the other
gonna
side?"
do?"
I probably would just
I
smile
don't
like
get
that
why
guy.
he couldn't just walk around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there another car doing the exact same thing behind
Mentos
him?
was just promoting terrible illegal activities during the 90s.
Can you imagine if this
and
happened
passing
and
it
someone
off.
said, "I only did what was on TV"?
Yeah, or they get into it and then they end up getting shot because the guy's like, "You're in my car. I'm going to shoot
Like
you."
this happens in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
just
okay,
hops in the car.
so take a look at this guy right here. He also
No, I
reminds
shot
me-
Marvin.
He also reminds me of Jake Busey in the movie Contact. And I'll show you
I've
an image right
Just
there.
a random fact.
So there's Jake Busey.
Random fact. I am in the movie Contact as an extra.
Hey,
Boom.
nice. I was in an extra in the TV show The Cape that was canceled on the WB.
Oh yeah. I know.
Jake Busey in that picture looks like he was in a B-movie knockoff playing Raiden in Mortal Kombat.
That is
Yeah,
true.
he is.
But he looks like the dude that entered in the car. Anyway, point is, Mentos, what the hell? What did you do in our?
I can't hear myself anymore, Kenny. I
turned-
think it's this thing down.
I turned your mic down.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
Well, there
I
you
didn't. Anyway, so I just thought that was absolutely insane that Mentos stole a song that wasn't even about them, and then decided, hey, I'm just going to promote a bunch of really creepy and probably stalkerish activities. Buy some candy.
I want some Mentos.
All right. Well, we do have to move on. It's been about a week and a half since our last show. So we always want to talk about what's been going on in the news with our favorite segment about the news, What's Going On?
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on?
True story. Kenny and I had to do that take so many times to get the right sound effect there at the end.
I believe it.
Yeah. All right, what's going on? Brought to you by our amazing sponsors, Her Majesty Services. Get your place or business clean, as well as Classic Man Cuts. Visit Amber at classicmancuts.com. And one of the coolest things is both of them have gift cards that you can buy for Christmas. We only have about a few days left for Christmas. If you haven't bought it, definitely check out hermajestyservices.com or classicmancuts.com. Get yourself a gift card as an amazing gift from our fabulous sponsors.
Tucker, do you have a go-to barber or anything?
Yes, in Tampa.
Okay, right. I'm just saying you don't just willy-nilly walk into like a Great Clips or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
thank
ask.
you.
You don't
Thank
ask
you.
for the number 2 or
Yes.
the number 3.
I go into a spot and I say, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" Number 2.
So you guys both like alcohol as we're drinking.
Accurate.
You guys like liquor, right? Yeah. Well, a study came
Don't
out.
spill it on my couch. But
The top 10 most popular liquors drunk during Christmas time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Would you guys care to guess?
Drink?
And,
Yeah.
these are specific brands.
Wait,
so specific.
Family Feud style.
Yeah, these are. Let's see if you can get the top 10. These are specific brands that are the most purchased during the Christmas season.
Of liquors.
of liquors.
All right.
Is this worldwide or America?
This is that's actually a very good question. This is in the United States.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
Because I'm sure there's a bunch of liquor across the world.
But
that I have
let's
no
just say
clue.
he said worldwide. Are you like flipping the switch to worldwide liquors?
I'll tell you.
I would just not know any of them.
We're still
no,
guessing American liquors.
yeah.
These are
regardless.
all liquors that you would know. Here's the thing: I barely would have guessed any of them. So that's a hint.
Okay,
right
so like Patron. Let's just start with
No,
the top.
nope,
You know,
not
a,
on
a
there.
top liquor. Let's or a top tequila.
No.
Let's start with
Tito's.
there. No.
Yeah.
You can't say start with when you've already had a guess.
Okay, well, I'm just these are
He's
starting guesses.
starting off the correct answers.
Let's go with Jack Daniels,
No, not in the top 10.
Jameson.
I'm telling you, these are going to be ones that you're
Then
like.
this
really?
is a shit. list.
Rumpelmans.
No, okay. So number
Jaeger.
10 is Don Q rum.
Okay, Don Quixote.
Number 9 is Grand Marnier.
Okay, well
Okay.
that's a good brand. That's
Number
not
8 is
something-
El Jimador, the
Never
tequila.
heard
Number 7, I've never heard of this, the Singleton whiskey. Okay. Hennessy, number
Hey,
6.
Henny.
Okay, all right.
Number 5, Bailey's.
Okay,
All right,
that is
solid.
good.
Yeah,
number
yeah, that's
4
gonna go with a lot of drinks.
So
yeah.
number 432, I think the reason is, and I'll explain why, but 4 is Cruisin' Rum, 3 is Bacardi, 2 is Captain Morgan. And I think it's because of Coquito. So a lot of Latin people create the milky rum drink
The
during
Dominican
that.
friends.
Yeah, exactly. But here's number 1
Is it Dominican or is it just all
I think
around?
it's Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. Yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah,
I know it's a
Puerto
lot of the
Rican.
Latin American countries.
Yeah.
But
I
I'll tell
take
you
that
right now,
back.
number
Sorry.
1, Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey is the most purchased and popular liquor of the Christmas season. What explains that?
Maybe they're just doing specials.
People are already drunk before they go out and buy liquor.
That could potentially be it, but you would think it would be what do you put in? I didn't even
was
think
gonna
about
say,
that.
like eggnog, I would guess
That's
is like
probably
an
why.
alcoholic
That's probably why
beverage.
the rums are
Yeah,
purchased
yeah,
during
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, it's an easy transition to go from liquor to our next topic. If you've been listening to our show at all, one of the things that I'm pretty sure is legally obligated to be a part of what's going on every other week is a story about Taco Bell. And Taco Bell is in the news yet again. They are adding some more menu items,
Okay.
but with an asterisk. So Taco Bell is going to wish happy 2022. At the beginning of the year, they're going to have things like the Chipotle Cheddar Chalupa. They're going to have a beefy melted burrito. They'll have a Fiesta Veggie Burrito for all you vegetarians out there.
Boo.
But here's the thing. They'll also be launching chicken wings.
Okay.
Okay.
They're getting into the chicken game.
Yeah.
Actually, they got into the chicken sandwich game a couple months ago with the little mini chicken sandwiches. Conveniently, well, I wouldn't say conveniently, but they're not on the menu anymore because I think they were pretty bad.
Well, Taco Bell is going to be unveiling crispy chicken wings starting January 6th. It comes with 5 wings coated in Mexico queso seasoning with a spicy ranch dipping
Okay,
sauce.
I'll try
Sounds
that.
good.
Here's the catch. They'll only be available for 1 week.
They this is to increase the buzz to get to Taco Bell for these chicken wings.
I mean, maybe, but here's the thing, though. Matt will still forget to purchase it, and it will be sold out by the time he wants to get it. And you know what? Because we've gone long on this show already, that is what's going on. And we'll move forward from what's going on to our next topic, which is our moof of the week.
Just when I
Congratulations,
think
Tucker.
you couldn't
That's why you're
possibly
here.
be any dumber.
We're going to award you Moof of the Week.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You little stupid and whoa.
I want to say Moof of the Week.
You little dumb and whoa.
Matt was just showing off some dick pics on his phone.
Yeah. Impressive.
And again, everything else, if you're going to be listening on Facebook, you could always chime in with that. Kayla comes in guessing rum chata, which is a very
Yeah.
interesting drink, which I think rum chata is just white people coquito. It's just because
That's what it translates to, actually, perfectly.
yeah, exactly. And then she basically talked about rednecks want to give their bosses gifts, which is probably why Wild Turkey is the number one. So the entire South is just giving Wild Turkey in there. And it would be interesting. We tried it before, or at least I tried it. We went to Applebee's on a late night, and I got the Cheetos crusted chicken, the boneless chicken wings crusted in Cheetos dust. And I'll be honest,
That's so. It's so
I'll be
stupid.
honest.
That's so gimmicky.
it was weird. Like, I'm not saying it was bad, but by no means was it good.
That's like, hey man, I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm going to sprinkle Cheetos dust on it, and that's like my new.
But
thing.
have you ever put Lay's on like a ham sandwich? That stuff
can't
is
say I have.
Potato
good.
chips on a sandwich.
Potato chips on a sandwich is dope, man. You're missing out.
Keep going?
Matt also doesn't eat fruit. Anyway, so Matt ran track in high school, and I know I played basketball and you did lacrosse. So we're athletes, whatever. You have to have some stamina in order to do that. But have there ever in a track meet or during a game, you've ever had to say, Coach, I got to go to the bathroom, and I got to leave the field, I got to leave the
yeah,
court
man.
because I got to go.
I've run a 5K and had to pull over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this marathon runner,
there you go.
in order to keep a sub 6 minutes pace for the marathon,
Oh, no.
decided, you know what? I'm just gonna pull down my pants and just go. And I'm not talking about number one.
Oh,
She
no.
pooped down her leg for 7 miles. Running with poop all down her leg in order to keep her record. And here's the thing: it was just a.
But she stopped.
It was a personal best that she was maintaining. It was if she was on track to set like a world record, maybe.
I mean, was this
Maybe I
like
could
the
see that.
Boston Marathon?
It's her first marathon since 2019. She's 25 years old. She had a personal best. It was actually she qualified for the Olympic trials with the marathon, but basically she pooped in her shorts.
The Olympics ain't gonna like that.
3 times she had pooped in her shorts during the marathon. First in mile 7, and it was during
You just started.
the California International Marathon. And yeah, she just basically, and she was happy about it. She said, "I was probably my proudest finish ever." She
That's
posted the
disgusting.
photo on Instagram.
No.
Oh, no.
No, she did
And
not.
I'm just going to show you. You can see down her legs are some brown streaks.
No, that is unacceptable.
I'm hoping that's just dirt.
So she's definitely the move of the week. Do you think there's going to be ever a situation where, like, and I'm not talking about where you can't, like, you can't go anywhere and it's just, it has to happen and you're like, uh-oh, it happens. But do you think there's ever a situation where it's like, you know what, I can go, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go right where I am. And it could be something like you're at a blackjack table and you're up thousands of dollars and you're just on such a heater.
You're on a heater,
and
you
you're
don't
just
fuck
like
with a heater.
and
Now
you're
you're
just
just
like-
the funny thing is you're speaking my language.
That's why
right
I
now,
said that.
But
Is there any circumstance, or like, let's say, game-winning
No.
drive of the Super Bowl, and you're the main camera person, and there could be someone there ready to go, but it's like, I cannot miss this moment in history,
yeah,
job-wise, and for the coolness of it.
That would have to be it.
And
It
you would
have
just
to be
go
it.
where you are.
Sure.
Okay. So I think we all have.
and I would walk away.
You would. There's not
yeah,
one
it-
scenario where you could say you'd like.
I mean,
can't
like
miss this.
professionally, you can always ask for permission if there's like you got a bathroom emergency. I mean, I've been in depositions where it's just gone on and on and on, and I drink water all throughout depositions a lot, and I'm like, I gotta go.
But see,
I'm like,
in
we gotta
that
pause
situation,
here for a minute.
you can say, "Hey, sorry."
Yeah.
You're in charge of it. I can't go to the umpire and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
TV,
but
TV
do you,
timeout."
so do you have like a little buzzer or something you could like signal up to the people, in the booth and say, I need someone to come relieve me now?
You would just
You
ask.
just ask
You just
them.
ask.
But that's gotta be
And
embarrassing, though, right?
But people understand, and like I work with a lot of camera operators that are a little more advanced in age, and if these baseball games go 4 or 5 hours, you do your best to hydrate before the game, but
Like,
then
hey guys, this game's going into overtime.
right, and you just say, hey, at the next inning break or at the next TV timeout, I gotta go. Or
We're-
and then they'll
we're
say,
also
hey,
talking
either we'll
about-
send somebody over to you, or
You just or you could just leave your camera right on like the person at bat and just be like, they'll never know.
sure.
Have you ever, and we're all talking about number ones here, like number two, that's a whole different thing. Have you ever snuck a pee during during your
100%.
work?
What?
Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Sure.
in a Gatorade bottle, or sitting there, it's like, man, I'm just going to go in this corner and then
Nope.
just go back to it. Not even like drunk, going back to your car and you're just like, I'm nowhere near a bathroom.
High end zone, Raymond James Stadium.
Really?
It's 162 steps from the top of
love that you
it to the bottom.
I love that you counted.
And sometimes you just don't have time.
I've done it before where I've been driving on my way home and it's just like I'm nowhere near where I have to go. So I just pulled over on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's
Just-
acceptable.
Like I've done that on 528 probably
acceptable.
way too many times. And yeah, just go.
I gotta go right now.
Well, it's
Your couch.
So, yeah, whatever. All right, let's move along to our final topic, and Tucker actually gets to be here for this. Tucker happens to know a little more about pop songs than Matt does. Matt did not know who Olivia Rodrigo was
I
when
love
I first
that song.
brought it
Good
up.
for you. That's good.
Good for you's great.
Stuff.
Driver's License is one of like the biggest hits of the year. Matt had absolutely no idea. So
heard of it.
I'm like, all right. Every time I do these goof songs, it's always typically a something from the past that Matt knows and listens to. But I'm like, all right, I got to do something current, and I got to do something current that I think Matt would know, that Matt would enjoy. So
I think I know what this is.
in order
Hope-
to prep for it,
cross my fingers.
really cross your fingers.
I hope it's what I think it is.
Well, first off, I have to make sure that I transfer it over because apparently I didn't. So we're going to have to fill some time while I download it.
You should get the dead air for this one.
No, we lose listeners. That's why you're a part of the show.
This is a great opportunity for me to just go to the restroom.
Well-
as long as I have my headset on and like maybe I get a wireless mic moving forward.
I've proposed many times to purchase a wireless mic and a lav set, and you've refused to buy it, Mr. Business Department.
I don't remember that, but I mean, you put it in my Amazon cart, I'll get it.
Well, I should say that now after you had 2 beers. All wasted. Oh, I don't want to.
See, you got to log in, you got to do all this nonsense.
All right,
This is by far my favorite song so far.
Did great ratings here,
all right, here we go.
all the downloads.
All right, now we've downloaded it, and here is Matt's Lonely Thoughts.
Yeah, this is the song I was hoping. You recognize it?
He is a lawyer, and he's all alone, laying solo in his bed, bored by his phone, surfing Reddit. I mean, I guess it's fine. You can still get a free sticker online, but every now and then it can be funny. So please buy our merch, we need the money. Hey, 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 yeah, it's time for Matt's Lonely Thoughts on our podcast. Got them hypotheticals, yeah, we're not professional. Asking Kenny about his thoughts too. 2 moves, 1 show, yeah, we got you. Time for Matt's Lonely Thoughts, he's unprepared. If you present him some fruit, yeah, he gets scared. Did I mention he's a lawyer? Did that point come across? So now it's time. Lonely Thoughts moves. Lonely
Dude,
Thoughts
I
moves.
hope people start
Lonely
doing TikTok
Thoughts
videos to this song.
moves.
You know
He's
what?
so lonely moves.
Since I shared it,
If any listener wants to do a TikTok video to this song for us,
here's what I'll do. I'll post this on as a downloadable file on our Facebook page. And if anyone downloads it and comes up with a dance just like the actual song, we will give you free merch. You're gonna get a piece of free merch.
get your choice.
But here's the thing: you have to actually your dance just can't be like.
Yeah, it's got to be TikTok worthy.
I just realized I clapped into the mic and I have to edit that like giant wave frame. All right, Matt, what's your lonely thought?
All right, so this is kind of I was thinking about our guest today, Tucker, and Tucker, if you don't know him, has got a really, really cool tattoo of poison ivy.
Yeah,
It's like kind of pin-up style.
he has
You
a lot
know,
of really cool tattoos.
yeah, really cool
that
tattoos.
are about that. And of course, he's wearing full jeans and a
Yeah.
long sleeve
Nothing
shirt.
like a show.
And I don't know how I got there, but I started thinking about Disney princesses and getting tattoos, pin-up style Disney princesses. And so, Kenny, I have preloaded a website for if you want to put it on the monitor number 2 for us. We're going to rank, if we were at a bar, not that one, you have to go to the other screen. There you go. We are going to rank if you ran into any of these Disney princesses in a bar.
I already know who number 1 is for me. I don't
Well,
even need to see the
I
pictures.
don't think we have all of them there, but we have a bunch of them.
All right.
But Kenny, if you want to read the tiers from lowest to highest or highest to lowest, however you want, we're gonna rank some of these.
I wish I would have known that you would have done this because then I would have set it up so we can screen share so people can see.
Oh, yeah.
see what's
Well-
going on.
Well, they can when we're done, we can post the tiers.
Final. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so there are 6 tiers that we can rank and organize people in, and the tiers are from the bottom, as in like we wouldn't.
You don't want to go anywhere near this
We
Disney
don't,
princess.
and then at the very top, you basically,
you're trying hard.
Now, okay, I got to preface this before we move on. Some Disney princesses are under the age of 18, so we're gonna say they're older and they turn
That's fine.
at least 18 before any of these lines are saved. Because I already see some of the princesses, and I'm like,
Can we say at least 21 if they're at a bar?
That's true. Okay,
There you go.
This
There you
isn't
go.
night
Dude,
library.
and to be fair, the preface when I came up with this is, would you talk to this,
Oh, okay.
this
Not
princess?
necess- okay. Well-
it's not. It's definitely. It's not hooking up.
Well,
I know.
Okay.
But you'll get to
So
that.
here are
But
the
the
tiers.
preface is, would you approach this Disney princess based on what you see,
Correct.
what you know about her story? In
All right,
Disney?
so the tiers are: sorry, I have COVID. You're
Go,
gonna
get away.
Just get away.
Sorry, I have COVID. Get away from me.
And then another one is: hey, what's your friend's name?
Okay. In other words, you're cool, but
They might know some cool people.
What's your friend's name?
All right. And another one is: can I buy you a drink?
Okay, there you go. You're warming up to a Disney princess. You can, they can see in the door.
Another one is: hey, what's your number?
Okay,
Let's-
a little
let's-
bit
you know,
further.
A little more aggressive.
I
right
would have
away.
changed that to what's your snap. You know what I mean?
Okay,
But,
there you
yeah,
go. There
I
you
get
go.
it. You're old. Next one is: how you doing?
Hey,
Right,
like
that's-
the
Like,
Joey.
this is when you're.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is you're feeling this Disney princess.
Yep.
How you doing?
And then the very top, like
Top
high
tier
rank
Disney
is,
princess.
You want to get out of here, share an Uber?
Yeah, it's.
Like-
do you want to share an Uber?
Yeah, it's basically, you're explaining. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go in order. And again, some of these are very inappropriate. So we're going to assume that they're over 18.
Dude, this because you have a tattoo of poison ivy, bro.
Yeah. all right.
Poison Ivy was of age.
So here we go. The very first one is Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, so if you were to see Alice from Alice in Wonderland in a bar, are you thinking like she's a total bitch? Are you thinking she's out there, slamming
All right.
drinks, doing shots?
She's definitely doing drugs. That's the whole
She-
premise of the
exactly.
story.
definitely doing drugs.
So here's why I personally would put her in the "Can I buy you a drink?" Because not necessarily like
Can
you
I
want her-
buy you a drink?
You not necessarily need the her number or hit on her, but get some drinks in her. You're going on. It's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be. Let's go to the next bar. You're
Yeah.
not going home. You're like, let's go to the next.
yeah.
bar.
Let's go to the next bar. Let's go
Okay,
down.
yeah. So she's like right there in the middle.
I would put you. Can I buy you a drink?
Can I buy you a drink? Okay, yeah. Alice in Wonderland. And let's remember here, the whole reason she's in Wonderland is because she's like, isn't she because she's schizophrenic or something like that? Isn't it like she's on drugs?
I mean, we know she's on drugs. All right.
All right, go, keep
the next
going.
one. I'm going to skip over to this one.
Yeah.
Ariel. Again, pretend she's 18.
Yeah. But we don't. I mean, even in the story, you have no idea. I imagine she's
Want to share an Uber? That's Tucker. Tucker
That's me.
is putting her at the
She's-
very top.
yeah.
I am
she's
putting
a
her at the very
redhead.
top. She's a redhead.
She
she has a
got
lovely singing voice, probably good for karaoke bar.
Okay,
Okay.
is this pre 2 legs or no?
She has to have two legs. If
Has
there's
to have
anybody
two
in the
legs.
bar that does not have that has a fish bottom half,
Yeah,
I might be asking, about their friends.
We're saying sorry, I have COVID. Sorry, I have COVID.
So human legs want to share an Uber. Fish legs.
The
So
opposite
right
end.
now,
Okay.
right now we have Ariel as like top tier
Okay, top
Disney
tier.
princess.
All right. So next up we have Belle from Beauty and the
Okay,
Beast.
and Belle is French, right?
Belle is French.
In the typical story, I think Belle, although pretty, if she's a real person, is probably kind of bitchy.
Yeah.
and I'm
Very
I'm-
book smart, very smart person.
Yeah, she's
probably
probably
holds
not-
that
yeah.
against you that she
she's
thinks
probably
smarter.
there because her friends dragged her out.
Yeah,
yeah, she's very
she
pretentious.
would rather be at home.
So again, we're gonna. I like where you put her into.
And
What's your girl's name?
What's your friend's name? And
What's your
here's the
friend's
reason
name?
why: because we know she's friends with a talking clock,
No.
a talking candlestick.
She's friends with the 3 girls.
No, she's not friends with them.
Well, that's who she's there
despise
with.
her.
She's
No.
there with them.
She's clearly there with Cogsworth and Lumiere.
All right. But
I'm
why are
talking-
you asking for their friend?
What
for
about
their name?
Gaston? Is he going to be?
Hey,
like-
what's your friend's name? I want to talk to the giant candle that is talking to me.
The whole point of what's your friend's name? It should be what's your girl's name? Okay. So anyway, but we agree on the tier she's in.
Okay.
She's not. She's like the gateway to someone better.
All right. So the next one we got Cinderella.
Cinderella. Oh no.
Cinderella.
She's
I don't want to meet her parents.
Well, her
Cin-
step parents or her
Sisters,
real
yeah.
parents.
okay. If
Yeah.
we're talking,
You go home, they're going to be.
if we're talking Poro Cinderella, or are we talking rich Cinderella? Princess Cinderella. I feel like she's probably snooty, very snobby.
That's true. By the way, someone chimed in with Ariel. We shouldn't put her up because she probably has crabs. I probably shouldn't have done that on the table. That's going to be really awful to edit. All right, so Cinderella, we putting her at the very bottom because here's the thing: we know she's resourceful. We know that she's a hard worker, so she might be like
She's making her own dresses and shit.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But like, is this a
I get the.
avoid her?
I hate to say this on our podcast, but it is our podcast. I get the cunty vibe from her.
Wasn't she the one that
Really?
used like the mice to help her do stuff?
Again, she's
Isn't
very
that
resourceful.
Like,
Yep.
I think that's like using free labor. It's gonna be.
Okay.
Sorry, I have
So
COVID.
you guys see.
Sorry.
I'm look. So far, of all the princesses that are at this bar, I'm definitely not
See,
approaching Cinderella.
I would put her.
last so
I
far.
would put her at what's your friend's name only because it's like she probably because now that she's rich and has money, she probably has some good
Oh,
friends.
you can do that.
but
It's fine.
no, we'll leave her as
somebody
I,
else I was
I,
gonna
I
say
know
that
that
about.
there are going to be much more bitchier personalities
All right.
that you're going to want to avoid.
So here's one. I'm gonna put her up there. She's gonna be definitely a top. Tiana from
I
Princess
see.
and
I
Frog.
can't speak to her because I never saw the movie.
Racist.
I mean, I've never seen the movie. I'm sorry.
She gets a how you doing from me.
A how you doing?
She's
Explain
she's-
why.
She's a badass bitch. She owns her own business. She cooks like a fiend.
What movie is she in?
The Princess and the
of the
Frog.
Frog.
I literally said that when I was introducing her.
Go ahead.
She sits there. She basically she can give you some sass, and there are some times you want a girl
need
that
some
gives you
sass.
some
She's
sass.
She's probably
You know
going
what?
to turn you down.
But she's going to turn you down with the intention of she knows you like the chase. And that's sometimes fun. Again, I'm not saying I'm going home with her because she would never agree to that. She's definitely not going home with anyone that night. But
Yeah, she's there for a good time. You're probably better off at what's your number because maybe you catch her on like a Tuesday.
okay, you know what? I can put it
You
down.
catch her on a Tuesday. She's got nothing going on.
I'll
you
put her at
you
what's
have
your
a better
number?
chance with
Especially
Tiana
because-
on a Tuesday than her on a Friday night.
and
Saturday
that's
night.
probably true because she's probably working on a Friday night because she owns like one of the most popular restaurants. All right, so she's going in. What's your number tier? All right, next up we're gonna go to Mulan.
She's not even drinking.
I don't know. She drinks with the boys. All of her friends are those oaf dudes from the movie.
Is she dressed like a dude at this bar?
Ooh,
That is true. That is true.
You may not
Or-
even have a chance from the get go.
That's true. But here's the thing: if you say sorry, you have COVID, she's going to karate kick your face, the COVID out of you. She's going to karate
Kicks
kick
the COVID out of
She
you.
kicks the COVID away from you.
I think only Chuck Norris can do that.
Mulan.
I'm putting her at what's your friend's name because you know that she's going to kick your ass if you don't at least approach her.
Is she like the number 2 girl out of the group? You know what I mean? That's why you're asking what's your
But
friend's
also willing to do anything it takes for what she wants.
That is
I
true.
like that quality in a person.
that
That
is
might
true.
bump her
Go
up
ahead.
a level for
Go
me.
ahead.
So
Go
to
ahead.
buy you a drink status.
Let's try and find the top tier.
Okay.
I think I know.
Someone chimes in our Facebook page. Tiana's definitely into bondage. I think, given her personality,
she probably is.
she's probably like, I don't want anything to do with you. But if she does want something to do with
You're in
you,
trouble.
you're tied up with the ball game.
back room at her
Yeah.
business is a dungeon.
All right,
exactly.
I know a shit tier right now when I see it.
All right. Well, I'm picking the next one, Jasmine from Aladdin.
I'm putting her way near the top.
She's definitely near the top, but you probably don't have a chance.
Pet tiger,
That is cool.
and she's
okay.
super rich
So
also.
here's why. Yeah, super rich. She's like
the heiress to the throne,
she is,
technically.
She is the you don't impressing me much.
She's
princess.
the Shania Twain
She is
of
the
Disney.
you ain't impressing me much princess.
She's the Shania Twain
You
of Disney.
you have no chance.
okay.
0% chance.
But,
But go ahead.
But
How
you
you-
still put her in how you doing
Yeah,
territory.
you could shoot your shot.
Okay. All right. I get that. All right. Let's move on to Moana.
I think she would be fun.
I think she would be a lot
Okay.
of fun.
Yeah, she's
So
definitely fun. She's-
Moana is in buy you a drink territory because I think Moana is the female friend that you just have fun with, but not necessarily try to flirt with.
I would still put her higher.
You would put her higher?
I think she's the friend that like maybe she's like. This is gonna sound. I feel like it's gonna sound awful, but like
Probably.
she's like a 7, but because she's so cool.
Ooh.
She's more attractive.
That's very nice. Absolutely.
I gotcha. Okay. All right.
So that's. I think she would be higher up.
So you would put her in how you doing territory?
How you doing, or Sharon Nooper?
Oh, okay. I see. I would still
Because
have it. What's your
she's
number?
she's like she's a Disney princess, right? But she's not like from the princess background.
But see, I would put her in the
Like,
what's
she
your
had to
number.
work for it.
See, what's your number category? Because if you have her number, it's like I'm bored on a Wednesday night. Let me go drink with Moana.
No, I mean, look, any of the top 2. I think Moana, any of the top 2, you're good.
Okay, well, we'll put her at how you doing territory. All right, next up, again, assuming that she's 18 or at 21 to be at a bar, we have Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
I don't feel
She's
comfortable
toxic.
answering this question.
She's just like super.
Toxic.
She's the one day things are good, the next day she freaking hates
But
you.
she's accepting of anything.
She's also the hey, I just lost my job, my car just broke down, I need your help.
What?
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
That's the vibe you get
She's
from her.
always looking for. She's always got some drama going on in her life.
Tucker, what say you?
I'm scared of her because she's hanging out with people from other planets.
Okay, so we're putting her in the avoiding category.
mean,
all right,
I wouldn't
listen.
necessarily avoid. I mean, you could say, "Hey, what's your friend's name?" Either one.
I might want to hang out with Stitch. That's kind
There you go.
of
There we go.
if that counts.
You know what? She's in the level of Belle to where it's like I got nothing to do with you, but I know you hang out with
right.
interesting
She-
people.
Like no one competes with the low
okay.
rating we gave
Of Cinderella.
just yet.
Really?
But
Okay.
there's one on there that I think goes with
All
Cinderella.
right. How about Pocahontas? Colors of the Wind.
I think she's probably middle tier. I don't think there's anything super remarkable, but I don't think she's like
She
not
can
outgoing.
talk to animals. Well, I mean, a lot of people can talk to animals, but she
Do
basically.
you think you have a good conversation with Pocahontas?
I would want her to translate what my dog is saying to me.
Okay, so is that a buy you
yeah,
a
yeah.
drink?
Let me buy
or
you a
what-
drink. You know what? That's a good. Let me buy you a drink. I want to hear.
Conversation starter?
Yeah, tell me about how you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
All right, interesting. All right, we're gonna move on to not Esmeralda, Meg from Hercules.
I can't speak to that. I think I may have saw the movie
Okay,
once.
Meg is very tough. She doesn't want to believe in love, but she ends up falling for Hercules. But she's very like.
She's the I don't need a man.
She has the very all dudes are the same. So it would be very tough to convince her otherwise because she's probably heard
So you
all
have
the-
to be a Greek god to.
because she's probably heard other dudes say all guys aren't the same or I'm not like other guys.
But they are.
But they are. So here's the thing. You can't fault her for that, but you also know you have zero chance with her.
Yeah.
So does that put her
Her
all the way at
standards
the
are
bottom?
like super high.
Do you put her all the way at the bottom or do you still want to try to talk to
Are
her
you
and her friends?
you hate rating her because her standards are super high?
But that's the
or-
thing, you can't blame her for the position she's in.
Yeah.
So but I'm like, does that put her in the sorry I have
sorry
COVID
I have
territory?
COVID category is if she were coming on to you and you were like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you.
See, that's why I would
I
put
think
her.
I'll move her one up.
I would put her.
Yeah,
at what's
yeah,
your friend's name?
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, if she's talking to you, I'm talking back. But again, Cinderella is.
All right.
If she comes up to you, I'm not even. I think so.
Here's the next one. Sleeping Beauty. Here's the reason why.
She's like the Cher from Clueless. Is the impression I get.
But here's the reason why I would put her at want to share an Uber. I'm a tired dude, and I love sleeping. I don't mean like sex sleeping. I mean legit sleeping. So I'm like, you want to share an Uber? You want to go back and like literally
For a
sleep?
nap?
You want to take a nap?
I feel like Bill Cosby would rank her up
Oh
there.
boy! All right.
That's exactly. That's where I was thinking.
All right.
That's
but
inappropriate.
let me say this. So we're talking about the cartoon version, so we barely really see her, but she's very exploratory. She's very curious. She seems like she's willing to try anything because she touched the spindle even though she was told not to. So
I
she's
don't
a rule
remember the
breaker.
story, so I can't.
If you saw her in Maleficent, she's very like optimistic and bubbly and very like whatever. So I put her in Can I Buy You a Drink just to see where it goes.
Okay.
See where the night goes.
That's fair.
Okay.
If it ends up just with a platonic nap, you're good
pull
with
what
it.
you think is the next worst.
No, I'm going to go with what I think we can talk about. All right, Vanellope.
She's a cool.
Yeah,
she's
cool.
Definitely cool.
easily top tier.
I would,
assuming
and here's the thing: I'm
everything's legit.
putting her in want to share an Uber not because 18-year-old Vanellope is someone I want to get with, but because let's share an Uber because we're about to do some crazy.
We're gonna go to Denny's.
No, not even Denny's ends the night. This is like what havoc can we cause?
Oh, yeah.
Before we go to
Yeah,
the Denny's.
no, she's definitely top tier.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I'm glad we're all we're all in agreement with
Vanellope
that.
from
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, Vanellope von Schweetz. All right, here we go. Snow White.
That's my bottom tier.
That is your
Fuck
bottom
her.
tier. Why?
She's too. You cannot be on your A game perfect enough. She's too. She grew up with like private school. The richo parents probably was gifted a BMW going into college.
Yeah, but she
or
was
some
totally
shit.
cool hanging out with 7 weirdos.
No, I'm.
That's literally half the movie is her hanging out with 7 weirdos.
That may be why I would have her at the bottom because she's always going to have those 7 weirdos
Look, I'm gonna
around her.
throw a little twist. I'm gonna throw a little twist into that. She's not hanging out with 7 weirdos as a way of like, because she likes hanging out with guys, in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
Let's say that the 7 dwarves are all gay, and she's hanging out. She's hanging out with her gay friends.
She's got her gang.
her gang,
Okay.
and she's like she is not interested.
I
She's
don't
just
know.
hanging out with her girlfriends.
If you guys ever hung out with, if you guys ever hung out with a group of gay dudes, that's a fun night.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not.
See,
if you're Snow White, you're having a good time.
Let me say this.
But if you're interested in Snow White,
But again,
you're not getting
We're
anywhere.
talking about she's coming to you.
You now have 7 guys that are
Are gonna have a fun night
sizing.
with
No,
you.
are sizing. If you're trying to approach Snow White and she's got her 7 friends,
They're going to be super overprotective.
they're
of her.
overprotective. They're
All right,
sizing
listen.
you up. You're never good enough.
I was overruled. I'd put her in what's your friend's name category, but I'm overruled.
It's a Doc,
She's-
actually.
Yeah.
She's
and what's funny is
shit tier.
Tucker and I know a Doc, and
That's true. So I thought he would hang
All
out with
right, here we go. We got Tinkerbell. Although not a Disney
she's
princess.
probably-
She's feisty.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think she's
feistiness.
good. I like that. She's probably up in the top 3.
She
in the what's your I see
She also gives you something that lets you fly.
that is dope. That is dope.
No,
I didn't
she's-
even think
she's
about
solid.
that. She's a so we in what's your number or how you doing territory?
She's the chick that's like, I bet you I can drink more than you, and she's like super.
And she can.
She's tiny, but
Yeah.
she can.
So are we doing the what's your number or how you doing category?
I'm going to say how you doing.
Yeah. How you doing's good.
See okay. I'm gonna do one adjustment at the end, but we'll do that. All right. Next up we have Jane from Tarzan.
I don't know, Jane. Never saw that one.
I mean, she goes into the jungle and finds
Yeah, I
Tarzan.
can't-
and
All right, here's why I put her at the sorry I have COVID because she's like a British aristocrat. Because she goes into the jungle with long white gloves and a parasol.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's getting into.
and,
she's
and,
that
and
well
she's-
protected.
And she seems very snooty. I get it. She learns to teach and accept
So
Tarzan.
if she's coming
but
to
she's
talk to you, if you're sitting at the bar
too
waiting
high
for your
maintenance.
drink and she's coming to you, you're like,
too
hey,
high
I'm not
maintenance.
interested.
Yeah,
what is she ordering at the bar?
tea.
She's asking for some
It's got to
cocktail.
be super high level, high craft cocktail.
She's at craft cocktail that takes 10 minutes to order, and like that bartender.
You're at a dive bar.
Yeah.
That bartender's out of commission for the next 10
Yeah,
minutes.
She's
I
got
just-
everybody else at the bar
Again,
hating.
I
because
get
of
it.
her
She has a nice
because
heart.
she wants
and,
her drink a certain way.
like I totally get like what the story is with her, and she told. But the first impression I get from her is too snooty. Way too.
All
It's
right.
like you can't. Go
I
to
never
Denny's
never
with
saw it, so I can't
go to
I can't-
Denny's at
I
the end of
can't
the night.
comment.
All right. Next up is going to be Hunchback of Notre Dame,
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame, voiced by Demi Moore.
I can't say much. I don't know.
She. Let me say this.
I really do have to use the restroom.
Tucker,
though, by the way.
well, you're the one who picked the longest hypothetical
some of these
ever.
I thought we were going to skip over, but go ahead.
You have to rank them all. So Tucker will appreciate this. Esmeralda is very anti-church, very against authority and stuff like that.
Because doesn't she end up with the hunchback?
Well, not romantically. They become like best
Like
friends.
friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put "Can I buy you a drink?" just to get some stories out of her. All right. I don't. Who is this one
No
from
idea.
Treasure Planet?
Leave her off the list. I don't know who that is.
Okay. So we're gonna combine the two together to see if they're a package deal or if
Package
you got a
deal.
separate. You have Anna and Elsa from
Package
Frozen.
deal. They're both going home with you at the end of the night together.
I think who's the blonde chick? What's her name? Is
That's
that
Elsa.
Oh, that's Elsa.
the
Okay.
blonde chick.
She's probably like the 10 at the bar.
Correct.
Right? And like if you here's how again, I'm just like spitballing this, this
Okay.
is from the hip, right? She's the 10 at the bar that's like everyone's too afraid to talk to her, but if you talk to her and you're like just normal dude, you're going to score. When I score, I mean like you're going to get her name
Okay.
and
So
number. and stuff.
are we putting her in how you doing territory?
Yes.
I think she's that same way, but if you talked to Anna first as an in to Elsa and she sees that you're nice to Anna, not so
That's the old
See,
Mac
but
tactic.
here's the thing. Anna is super clingy. So knowing that about her, you approach her and you say, "What's her number?" And next thing you know, she's like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'll give you my number. I'll give you my Snapchat. I'll give you my Instagram. Hey, hit me up. Like, what are you doing tomorrow night?"
here's the last 4 of my social
Yeah.
with my mother's maiden name.
I got to put Anna down to what's
Okay.
your number status.
All right.
And even then, it will be one of those end of the night, what's your number? Because she's so
like a back-
clingy.
yeah, a
But
backup.
But here's the thing. Very attractive, very cool person, but grossly clingy. And I cannot
Just know,
put
I
that.
hope that like 5 years down the road, someone doesn't listen to this, and we said something that has now become so inappropriate that we don't
it's
get canceled.
probably
culture.
next week.
you guys are definitely going to get canceled.
So
culture
here's the one
eventually.
adjustment I'm going to make. I'm putting Tiana up in the how you doing category. Now that we had a listener mention that she's probably like red room of pain category in her business, that elevates her to badass status.
All right.
And then I'm going to put Sleeping Beauty up into the what's your number because again, naps. I'm all hashtag nap time.
Look, I'm fine. I'm fine with the list. I mean, I thought we were kind of. I was hoping that we would get a nice little bell curve.
No,
But no, that came out well. I agree for the most part.
Was
with most of
Merida not a Disney princess?
She was Brave. Isn't that Pixar?
Yes.
That's Pixar. It's not Disney.
Isn't is Wreck-It Ralph Disney or is that Pixar?
That's Disney.
But it's Pixar too.
Wreck-It
right?
Ralph is not Pixar.
No, all right.
You guys need to know your Disney.
Either way, they're princesses. Okay,
right,
so,
so are we-
Wait. Then Disney, you have to include Star Wars. Where's Princess Leia?
But if we're not including Pixar, we can't include
Disney
Marvel
owns Star
or
Wars.
Disney owns
but those
Pixar.
aren't
but
princesses.
It's
if
in
you're
her
thinking
name.
Disney, maybe you can include Princess Leia. That's fine.
yeah,
but,
someone
but
brings
these are
up
all
a good,
fictional.
Someone brings up a good point
characters.
with Anna. She always you can't touch her. She always has to have like her
Who?
gloves. Elsa, you're right. Sorry,
That
Elsa,
blonde,
not Anna.
That blonde chick.
The blonde chick from Frozen.
No, again, I feel like that's Elsa is the perfect example of like that girl in the bar who's a 10, and if you just shoot your shot, you have a shot.
Okay,
It's not
listen,
like you have no chance.
Listen, I'm going to save it. We're going to download it, and
we're gonna post it and see what people agree. People agree with.
download image. Let's see if this is a scam site, and I just downloaded a virus.
You can just leave it. I'll download it later.
Sure, you
We
will.
can end it with that.
All right.
So
Well, Tucker, thank you so very much for hanging out with us and being a part of episode 55.
55.
Double nickel 55.
is there anything funny you would like to say at the end to, end the show?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone listening. Let us know what you think about our tier princesses at the bar. Maybe we'll do
This
princes.
list gives me
next
tears.
Maybe we'll do who would rather bro out with next week. The princes.
I'm just saying.
I'll be
We'd
back
like to
next
bro-
week for that one.
You-
Who would you like to bro out with?
I'm just saying, you guys don't realize the power of hanging
Who
out
would
with.
who?
a
Look, we're gonna
dope-
get all the princes, and we're gonna decide who we want on our cornhole team.
Aladdin.
I'm just saying, you guys don't understand the power of an awesome group of gay dudes. You're gonna have a fun night. I don't know why you're putting Snow White so
I'm just
low,
saying, but you have no. She's too stuck up. That's the impression I get.
All right.
All right, everyone, have a good night.
Have a what?
Have a good night.
You're drunk.
I'm going a blank on the line here. I say good day. I really just got to use the restroom, man.
We're still live.
All right, well, I'm not going right here. I mean, come on.
Is that a real tree?